I think that this is the first flush. It has to be. This guy finally follows science. It is the gaslight of all time. Goodbye. Yep. All right. They actually touted the rollback on climate protections as a boon for the environment. Now, are you convinced that we are totally irrevocably screwed? I mean, these people have totally gaslit and manipulated science, everything in climate science, everything environmentally. They have completely bamboozled and lied, and they are denying it's insane. They're turning it around. How can you do this? He says an Earth Day message from the White House praises Donald Trump, a man who once claimed climate change was a hoax by the Chinese, as the long awaited president who follows science. Are you fucking kidding me? The press release sent out Tuesday titled On Earth Day, we finally have a president who follows science, lists an assortment of actions that he's taken that the White House claims are actually good for the environment, despite every major conservation group saying the opposite. Oh, I mean, come on. So, by pausing restrictive emissions rules for coal plants, Trump has accelerated responsible energy and infrastructure projects, the release says. But are we living in the onion? We are living in the onion. By clamping down on wind energy, Trump is recognizing wind turbines detrimental to environmental impact on wildlife, which outweighs their benefits, the release says, pushing the myth that wind turbines have any significant impact on bird populations. That's not what I'm here to talk about. I don't actually know the science on it. President Trump is protecting public lands. Now, that's a good one. The release states, before explaining he's prioritized access to federal lands for energy development, something conservationists have said is an environmental nightmare. On his first day in office, he signed a litany of executive orders. Now, I want to go over here before I go the rest of that, because this is another article, Freedom from Religion Foundation, and talk about he desecrates Earth Days, but I wanted to read their list because their list is pretty good. The list of his environmental sins is egregious. In 1 week in March, announced it's firing an additional 1,000 employees of the NOAA, which I think there's a lot of hemming and hawing right now about that. Zach Lape got his job back. So we don't know exactly what's happening. It's very, very careless and thoughtless. Absolutely no empathy in this administration for anybody, for human beings behind all this shit. Okay. Pledged to reverse the Biden administration's focus on climate change because, as Energy Secretary Chris Wright put it, that's a very poor direction in energy policy. Canceled $20 billion in climate grants going to 8 nonprofits through the Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund. Said all Environmental Protection Agency offices would be eliminated. Suspended 20 legal opinions that included protection for wild birds. And then signing several executive orders to revive the country's coal industry. That's just fabulous. Slashing funding and staff for the National Climate Assessment, which we go over every year, which the federal government produces, well, every 4 years, to analyze the effects of rising temperatures on human health, agriculture, energy production. That's 4 years. There's another one we go through. Every country has a good climate report. Think about it. True. Potsdam has one. They have the planetary boundaries material that they are working on there. Moving to end Environmental Protection Agency requirements that big polluters must disclose how much carbon dioxide and other planet warming gases they emit, and cutting 84% of staff that funds recovery from disasters as part of the Department of Housing and Urban Development. God, jeez. I can't even go through that. I'm going back just to the absurdity and the lunacy. We are run by lunatics. They really are. They are, I would say, psychopathic lunatics. The oligarchies are in the United States. I mean, Earth Day is just, it's a joke. There's no Earth Day. No. They want to, what is it? Oh, here, this is lovely. They uh, speed up, the energy emergency to speed up the fossil fuels, permitting, nuclear power and mining, halting offshore, everything. Just let's open up Alaska's Tongass National Forest. When I read this stuff and I see what is happening, it is, yeah, Alex. Where's Alex? I see it. He's got it. You took the words right out of my mouth. I've got to find them. One flew over the cuckoo's nest is exactly right where we are. This is the science back in the White House, President. I mean, seriously, it's insane. All right. Now, nuclear power. Remember nuclear power because pretty soon we are going to be reading a story about nuclear power and climate collapse. And that's going to be where you need your warm drink or your cup of tea or your cup of coffee and your blanket, and you're going to get comfortable for me reading this because it's good. But we got to do the news first. So we have now that wonderful president who is bringing science back in to the White House. Yep, president who finally follows science. Maybe that has to have two flushes. I can't stand it. Bye. Okay.